Mm-hmm.
Cat. And there are definitely some.
My bad, y'all. I was supposed to start this up earlier, but I got caught up doing some stuff, y'all. So my bad. I'm late, but I had to take care of some business with my family first, y'all. Um, so obviously this is an astrology, you know what I'm saying, conversation. So y'all can learn more about your signs or the people that you deal with off that specific sign. Um, that's the chat we're having today, right? It's like a breakdown of the signs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all karma, ailments, shit like that. But if y'all are interested in getting like question answered during this live, y'all just need a cash app or send or book it through my website, obviously.
Mom, you should get rid of the BRP.
My bag.
My bad, girlfriend.
My bag. I was caught up today running around town just trying to get shit going and had a whole van bullshit going on. So now I'm able to be here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with like obviously Aries. So it's gonna be like I'm gonna like read each individual one. I'm not gonna be here too long though, y'all. Obviously, but I want y'all to know like where your ailments are and obviously like what you should be looking out for karma wise. You know what I'm saying? Because every sign obviously has karma, right? Um, so I did do this one beforehand, but I'm gonna start it up. To be fair, because I deleted, I think Aries and Scorpio was on a live, and I deleted that live. So to be fair, I'll start up from the beginning, and then I'll read the characteristics of the males and the females, and then I'll read their karma, and then obviously we'll move on past that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's go. So I'm gonna start with Aries. Obviously, I remember reading Aries because they wear hats. Like you can spot an Aries through like things that they put on their head. But I just feel like it's gonna be just better for me to do it this way. That way it doesn't confuse anybody. And if you guys wanted to go back into this video and take a look at this, let's say you meet someone that is of that sign that is new, or you're still dealing with your old person, you'll be able to understand why they move the way that they do, things like that. Okay, y'all. All right. What's this shit here? All right, so we're gonna obviously start with Aries. And y'all already know that there is obviously 3 decades to the signs. So depending on like, because some of y'all be like swearing, lo and behold, that the person that you are dealing with is the devil, and all, let's say all Geminis, they're the devil, right? Not every Gemini is going to act the same. This is why I always tell y'all, please stop saying that every Scorpio is the same. We are not the same. Just because you met a psycho Scorpio does not mean, and I'm not even talking about evolving ones, right? I'm simply talking about like the way that they fall on the chart. It determines how they will be with you, right? So just because you met one psycho Scorpio does not mean that I am like that Scorpio that you met, because it depends on where I fall on the chart, right? So for Aries, you've got 3 different types of Aries. You've got obviously the regular Aries, which is the slash of Mars, right? You got an Aries Leo Sun, then you got Aries Sagittarius Jupiter. So it depends on which Aries obviously you're dealing with, right? So let's just read on them, obviously. So the Aries men. So it says on here, do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave no trail. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, which explains why Aries have such a strong need to be first in everything that they do. So if you know A, obviously numerology, A equals number 1. Okay, so Aries, that's the reason why they were placed as number 1. This all also ties into numerology. As y'all know, I'll be talking to y'all about this. People also that are A are leaders, and they can have alcohol issues because A is the letter alcohol, athletes, things like that. All right. So in Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, which explains why Arians have such a strong need to be the first in everything that they do. They like to think of themselves as leaders. See what I'm saying? A, number 1, leader. It all touches into like life paths and stuff. Okay. Not followers. And this is an impatient, ever ready and energetic sign whose bright, enthusiastic, and confident persona can mask a more sensitive and vulnerable interior. How to spot an Aries. Okay. Very often an Arian will draw their attention to their heads in some way, thereby providing a helpful clue about their star sign. An Arian man may have a beard, especially if it is closely cropped, or some carefully groomed stubble. Both men and women enjoy wearing hats. So you can spot them because they like to put things on their head. Okay. Who comes on here? Hello, Bobby. So then it says on here, both men and the women enjoy wearing hats and may even sport a battered old favor at every opportunity. It is typical for the Aryan hair to have a coppery glint. So even if they are brunette, they have like some type of coppery highlights to them. You know what I'm saying? All right. So then it says on here, and it's sometimes very red indeed. Often an Aryan man has to cope with thinning hair, so they lose their hair early in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes a lot of sense, because I do know an Aries guy that he like had hair loss at like 21, and I was always trying to figure out why he would like wear a lot of hats and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Lorraine. So it says on here, Aryans of both sexes look youthful, and when possible, they prefer to wear casual, relaxed clothing such as t-shirts, jeans, and leather jackets rather than anything too formal. They choose clear, bright colors, and especially reds. They are slim and lithe when young, partially thanks to their high metabolism, which burns off their calories. But as they get older, they often find, much to their disappointment, that they start to put on weight, especially around their stomachs. Well, shit, we all do. Just say. Aries is obviously an element of fire. Their cardinal sign. They're ruled by Mars. Their color. So if you're an Aries, you need to wear red. Red will empower you. Red is the color of blood too, by the way, y'all. The day of the week is a Tuesday. Their gemstones is diamonds. And their top 10 traits is that they're pioneers, they're enthusiastic, they're dynamic, they're impulsive, they're impatient, direct, self-centered, naive, assertive, and reckless. So if you know the tarot, the Fool card represents Aries, which means someone that's reckless. All right. I'm going to do Gemini. I just got to go down the line so everybody has a chance. So the Aries man is a dynamic bundle of energy, enthusiasm. Being ruled by his aggressive Mars makes him very conscious of his masculinity. And when he is out of his comfort zone or feeling vulnerable, he will do his best to compensate by being forceful and direct and possibly even pushy. There's a strong idealistic streak to them, Mr. Aries, who always hopes for the best, even when his life has brought him many disappointments. This rather naive quality is one of the most endearing traits of an Aries male, because he never quite manages to learn from experience, no matter how old he is. That's not bueno. It's kind of like falling. That's why you guys are the ram, y'all. That makes sense. Oh my God. Keep bumping your head and still not learning. It's not bueno. Oh, geez. However, he is far from being a fool. He can be a very canny businessman, isn't shy about getting himself noticed, and he can be an expert wheeler dealer. The cardinal nature of an Aries makes him ambitious and focused on achievement, and so he is always needing something to look towards. His resilient nature allows him to bounce back from disappointments. Fired up with fresh plans and exciting new ideas, you simply can't keep a good Aries man down. Okay. Speed is one of Mr. Aries' guiding principles. He likes to drive fast, like Formula One driver David Coulthard. He talks at a rapid pace and he's quick to see a joke. The speeded up quality can lead to the characteristic of the Aryan impatience, in which he wants everything to happen right this minute. He certainly isn't good at playing the waiting game and can become bad-tempered and moody when things don't happen as quickly as he would like. This tendency to impatience can lead to rash and hurried decisions, and he doesn't allow himself to think things through. Instead, he throws himself into the fray of what can be foolhardy way. That's crazy. Okay. Aries is sociable and outgoing sign. Mr. Aries enjoys mixing with friends. Having Mars as his ruling planet gives him a strong, passionate streak, and sex is usually a very important part of his life. As a young man, he often enjoys the thrill of the chase. Oh, shit. And can rack up many notches on his bedpost. Oh, they got hoes. They got hoes in different area codes. Well, I mean, all fire signs do, because, Leos ain't no joke, and neither is no Sagittarius. So it's hardly a surprise that Casanova was an Arian. However, his romantic soul really yearns to fall deeply in love with someone who will cherish him in return and to whom he can be faithful and devoted. In other words, he longs to live a happily ever after. Oh, shit. So the sign of the Aries has 3 decadents, which I already told y'all about, of 10 degrees each. Arians born in the first decadent are go-getting, active. They are only influenced by Aries and Mars. Those born in the second decadent are still active and energetic, but are more organized and are dignified because of the influence of Leo in their sun. So see how I told y'all, don't slump everybody. We're not all the same. You know what I'm saying? And this is just like in general. Imagine if they're evolved. That's even worse. Like, we're not even going to talk about that right now. We're just going to talk about this right here. All right. So it says only those born on the third decadent have the exuberance and generosity of their sub-rulers Sagittarius and Jupiter. So they're going to give you money. That's what that means. Okay. And then talks about like the people that are like famous, that are Aries men, which we don't give a shit about. We definitely don't give a shit about the famous Aries women. We're not here to worry about nobody but ourselves. We're just here to learn about the sign, right? So the Aries woman, she never underestimate. It says never underestimate Mrs. Aries. She may give the impression of being easygoing, mild-mannered, but if you push her too hard, you'll know all about it sooner or later. Here is a powerful woman who knows her mind and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Just like her male counterpart, Miss Aries is competitive and highly motivated, and she frequently has her sights set on successful careers. If she has children, she will do her best to combine being a mother with continuing to work, which will help her to retain her independence and keep the sense of still being someone in her own right. An Aries woman who feels restricted or hampered or in any way will soon become extremely frustrated and not being able to achieve what she wants and will feel resentful. She may not want to be the boss in a relationship, but she certainly wants the sense of equality. So they don't want to be treated unfairly, but they don't want to rule either, the women. Okay. In a true Aries style, Miss Aries is an idealist and a romantic. She gets involved time and time again with the same type of partner, so they have patterns when it comes to dating. They don't really like date differently. Like they all gonna basically have some type of resemblance, okay? Even if her heart is broken after each encounter, Billie Holiday's songs were especially evocative of this sort of Aries heartbreak. Generally speaking, Miss Aries would much rather be happy because this is definitely not the sign of a martyr and will support her partner as much as possible if she thinks they deserve it. Okay. She's forgiving and understanding, but only to the point. She certainly won't tolerate any bad behaviors for long before putting her foot down and issuing a few ground rules. So she's gonna let you get away with some shit, and when she see you getting out of control, she's gonna put her foot down and say, hell no, you can't be doing that shit right there. We're not doing that. The sign of Aries is renowned for their quick temper, and Miss Aries has no compunction in shouting and stomping her feet when she thinks that the situation demands it. See what I said? She gonna act crazy when she sees you getting out of control. Watch out for her fireworks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read the men and the women, and then I'm gonna leave another live to do the kids. So if y'all got kids of that sign, so y'all could learn more about your children, obviously, because yeah, it's just because I want to touch into the karma and stuff. All right. So it says on here, the constellation of the Aries was known as a ram to several ancient civilizations, including the Babylonians and the Greeks. One of the Greek myths associated with the ram concerns Jason, who stole a magical golden fleece that had once belonged to Zeus in order to save his father's kingdom from the grip of his uncle, King Peleus. An Aries woman may look completely feminine and give every impression of being as sweet as sugar, but a strong core of steel runs through her. She can be direct, forthright, and blunt, and has no difficulty in asking for what she wants. Although this can be a tremendous asset whenever she needs to assert herself, especially in a male-dominated environment. It can make her seem extremely single-minded, uncompromising, and possibly even ruthless. As a result, people may be on her guard with her, an attitude that hurts and confuses her because she usually doesn't realize the power that she has. Crazy. So obviously, like I said, I'm not going to read about the Aries kids, but I'm definitely going to tell you about their karma, about the Aries people. So where the hell did I put my fucking Stanley? Oh, here it is. My bags. Give me a minute, y'all. I don't want to put that right in front of the fucking mic. Y'all about to go deaf. Here goes the juicy shit. Okay. All right. Arians have a very active brain, always seeking to learn things, always thinking and planning. They are high-spirited people, dynamic, volatile, courageous, witty, and potentially very good scholars. You know what I'm going to do? That way people don't sit here and act crazy. I'm going to put the sign at the bottom so they know what the hell I'm reading on. For those that are just walking in, right? That way it keeps the mess under control. What do you need?
So I don't know how to cut this.
Go on. That looks like paint to me. That's not a cut. So go wash it off.
But I don't know how to take it off.
Go to Jia to help you. My bad, y'all. Okay. So it says Arians have very active brains, always seeking to learn things, always thinking and planning. They are high-spirited people, dynamic, volatile, courageous, witty, and potentially very good scholars. Learning is important to them as a bright social associations. So they're intelligent. They are rarely lost for words and ever ready to verbally defend themselves and their actions. For those who live constructively, responsibility is their second nature. In its expression, they find that their acute intuition gives them constant guidance. Okay. The other side of their nature is to be reckless. Remember, like I said, the Fool card, right? Headstrong and often quite fierce, this is when they live destructively and become a liability to society. Factors that could swing the personality away from its naturally constructive expression are often traced to mineral deficiencies in their diets. Okay, partially of the most vital cell salt for Aryans. So you need to get potassium phosphate. So you need to have salt because you'll see that certain Aries will start to act out based on their lack of salt, like it says, due to their diet. Okay. Their negative tendencies. Okay. Due to the high level of cerebral energy, Aryans can be extremely impatient with others. However, with a loved one, they can show so much patience as to be easily imposed upon. This will effectively reduce the responsibility of their intuition and cause them to make some monumental errors of judgment. Even when living constructively, they should take care not to overstimulate their capabilities or to engage in repeatedly lengthy periods of mental activity without balancing such periods with relaxation. Such neglect will lead to enervation, headaches, and recklessness. They must think before they speak, especially if they tend to be critical. For Aryans, have a sharp tongue and fiery temper when they lose self-control. Y'all better listen. If you got an Aries or you dealing with an Aries or you an Aries, I'm gonna need you to listen right now. God. Health. Aries relates to the cerebrum, the human brain. Hence, a physical characteristic usually related to Aryans is a large head. They often have a larger than average brain and require a diet that will provide extra nourishment to the brain cells and nerve fluid. The biochemic cell salt most useful is the regard it. Hold on a second, y'all. My daughter dropped some shit. She's crying. Hold on. My daughter do too damn much. My bad, y'all. Shit. Anyways, what I was saying is they often have a larger than average brain and require a diet that will provide extra nourishment to the brain cells and nerve fluid. The biochemic cell salt most useful in this regard is known as kali phosphate potassium. It can be consumed in a supplementary form as powder or liquid. Okay, but if while taking the supplement, the Aryans adheres to a conventional high acid diet based on processed and refined foods, basically bullshit foods. I mean, a lot of foods are processed. We're not going to talk about cold cuts. That's processed, obviously, right? A high meat intake, tea, coffee, and or alcohol, their hyperacid condition will negate the alkalizing benefits of the cell salts. So basically, you need to watch your mother effing diet. Don't eat no basura, garbage food. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the foods that they have at the supermarkets, anyways, them is trash. Especially if they in boxes, you have to like basically make your own stuff, right? They are far better advised to alter their diet to include natural foods. What I fucking said. Didn't I say that shit? There you go. With special emphasis on those richest in natural potassium phosphate. So you need to eat a specific set of diet for your sign. Okay. So this is what would have that, right? So yeast, edible, brewers, and torullas varieties, soya grits, and for those who want milk, soya or rice milk. Soya beans soaked for 24 hours, then steamed. Wheat germ and wheat bran, both must be fresh and raw. Sunflower seeds, I love sunflower seeds. Either sprouted or raw. Whole kernels, chickpeas, I don't fuck with those. Garbanzo beans, that's what they're called. And lentils. Raw unsalted nuts, especially almonds, Brazils, and pistachios, all my favorite nuts. Hey. And rye bread, sprouted is best. Next to freshly stoned ground. Okay. A deficiency of potassium phosphate can be generally recognized as affecting mental processes. So it affects with your mental. Okay. Manifesting in such symptoms as a migraine, extreme nervousness, frequent hysteria, mental exhaustion, psychosis, and paranoia, wild fancies and forebodings, and so on. Here's your karmic lesson, like the devil, right? Because it's not just, oh my God, you got to eat good. You know what I'm saying? Here comes what you're fucking unfortunately born with just by being an Aries, right? Aries must learn the meaning of selfless love, recognizing its marked difference to physical desire. Compassion is the highest expression of universal love. So this virtue must become a part of their every thought, word, and deed. Vital to the development of compassion, it is the mastery of emotions, especially temper, anger, and jealousy. Y'all heard that? At least y'all don't have no weird shit like Scorpio did. Just saying. So now we're going to move on to Taurus. For those that are Taurus, you know what I'm saying? So you hear about your sign, right? Yeah, let's go to Taurus people real quick. Because I said I'm not going to talk about the kids part, right? So basically, for those of y'all dealing with a Taurus, Taurians like to take things fairly slow. They prefer to be unhurried and to work their way steadily through whatever they are doing without making a lot of fuss or drawing too much attention to themselves. This sign is renowned for being grounded and determined, and Taurians will devote years of effort to a project if they think that it is worth their while. Yes. How to spot a Taurus. Listen to this shit, yo. Okay. Tradition states that the Taurians are among the most attractive members of the zodiac. So they're good looking. Okay. Both sexes know how to look good, taking care to choose clothes that suit them and enjoying the appearance and texture of their beautiful fabrics such as wool, silk, or pure cotton. They are much happier wearing natural fibers than man-made ones. If their budget permits them, if money is not tight, a Taurian is clever at revamping their old clothes, perhaps by giving them a contemporary twist or by emphasizing their vintage qualities. So like if basically they can't afford it, they will like fix their shit to look differently and stuff like that. A Taurian draws attention to their throat and their neck, so necklaces and shit like that, which is often a very elegant part of their body. They wear scarves, clothes with distinctive collars, or necklaces and chokers. Having Venus as their planetary ruler gives Taurus their wonderful good looks, their lovely skin, and often an equally lovely, sensuous figure when they are young. However, they become more bulky, so they gain weight as they get older and may struggle to control their weight. So they struggle with like weight gain and shit like that. But I think every fucking sign does. Wait, I think there was one that didn't. I forgot which sign it was. Taurus vital statistics is the earth. They're obviously a fixed sign. Their ruler is Venus. Their colors to empower them is supposed to be, this is what you're supposed to wear if you're a Taurus, right? It puts you in your power. It's green and brown. Your day of the week is Fridays. Hey, Fridays, fun days. I love this stone too. The stone is an emerald. Okay. Their top 10 traits is they're faithful, they're down to earth, they're practical, they're steady, they're deliberate, they're traditional, they're sensuous, they're tactile, possessive, and stubborn. Whew, jeez. Okay. All right, y'all. The Taurus man. So the Taurus man, because, okay, so you know where you are with a Taurus man, because what you see is pretty much what you're going to get. Damn. There are no nasty surprises and usually no hidden sides to his personality because he's too straightforward for any trickery. Well, that's good. This is all thanks to his earth element to which he belongs, plus the fixed nature of his sign. The combination of earthy and fixie makes him grounded, sure of himself, and reliable. He has dodged determination too, which gives him the ability to work long and hard at anything that he considers to be important. It's a point of honor for him to be persistent. Okay. Taurian men can exercise great power and dominance, and sure enough, some of the men who had the biggest impact on the world's political stage were born under the sign of Taurus. They include Adolf Hitler, Vladimir Lenin, Philip Pétain, Rudolf Hess, Joachim von some shit, Ribbentrop. Yo, listen, these fucking last names is crazy. Arthur Wellesley, Duke of Wellington, Oliver Cromwell, Karl Marx, Maximilian de Robespierre, Ho Chi Minh, and Malcolm X. All right. And not to give in regardless of, okay, so basically it's a point of honor for him to be persistent and not to give in regardless of the odds he may be facing. The solid nature can sometimes spill over into the stubbornness for which the bull, the animal associated with the Taurus, is renowned. When Mr. Taurus thinks that he is right and you are wrong, he'll dig in his heels and stand his ground. And if you manage to persuade him to change his mind, you can pat yourself on the back for having worked a miracle. Damn! Okay, well, that means don't try to convince him. Just walk away. Just take the L. Fuck it. This tendency to be obstinate and intransigent can be a tremendous asset when Mr. Taurus needs to stick to his guns. But it can also be stumbling blocks because it can make him so inflexible. You have only to look at the list of the Taurian dictators to see how entrenched Taurus men can become. Luckily, Mr. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, pleasure, and beauty. Venus' influence endowed him tremendous charm and twinkle in his eyes. Just like Pierce Brosnan or George Clooney, these assets certainly help to lighten his more solid side. And they are formidable arsenals when he wants to get his own way. Oh, shit. They use their eyes to fuck, y'all. Take notes. Venus can also give Mr. Taurus good looks or the sort of winning personality that makes him seem stunningly attractive and a honey-eyed voice. He has a hedonistic appreciation of life, many comforts and treats, and the results of luxury-loving side of his personality can often be seen in a heavy build. Orson Welles, who was a heavyweight in more ways than one, was a Taurian. Venus rulership of love makes Mr. Taurus extremely sensual, and he can be highly sexed, as this is a wonderful outlet for the emotions that he feels. He may be too embarrassed to put in words. He is also one of the most faithful and loyal signs of the zodiac. Crazy. And I've never dated a Taurus. You know what's crazy? I am just like, I don't know. I've met them, but I've never been attracted to them. Why is that? Is it because their stubbornness just exudes to them and I'm just not appealed by it? I don't know, but damn. If they're loyal, I'm saying they would go well with Scorpio. Like, what the fuck? Mr. Taurus may play the field when he is younger. Listen up. So they hoes when they're young. Okay. So there you go. And also it depends on the decadence. Remember what I told y'all earlier, right? But it's not long before he starts to look for his lifelong partner that he can trust and count on, just as they can rely on him. And then it talks about like the famous men that are Taurus. Now I'm going to talk about the women. Okay. The Taurus women. Here are women you can count on. She's reliable, dependable, and practical. Common sense runs through her like the letters in a stick of a seaside rock, equipping her with everything she needs to organize her life and yours as well, if you let her. So she's not going to let you fall, pretty much. She exudes a quiet air of calm and rarely shows that she is ruffled by disturbing events, even if she's quaking inside. The image she portrays is of somebody who is placid, centered, and grounded. Even if you are lucky enough to know a Taurian woman, you will soon discover how kind she can be, taking the trouble to find out how you are and dispensing words of advice if you need them. So they're very helpful people. Okay. Like her male counterparts, Miss Taurus has a strong need for physical security. Ain't that the truth? If she wants a good night's sleep, she needs to know that there's enough money in the bank. Yo, this shit is effing funny, boy. I can't wait to read Capricorns. Oh, Jesus. She needs to know that there's enough money in the bank to pay for life's necessities and that the roof is over her head won't leak next time it rains. This love of security and need to know that what tomorrow will bring can make her weary of adventures. Oh, snap. They don't like things that are reckless. So they wouldn't want to be with an Aries because Aries live like, you know what I'm saying? They like to have stability. The Taurus women have a delight in traveling the world. Ooh, take me with you. Yes. Others prefer to stay close to their home and family throughout their lives. So one of the greatest strengths of Miss Taurus is her fidelity. Okay. If she loves you, she will support you unstingingly through thick and thin. In years later, Margaret Fontaine devoted herself to the care of her paralyzed husband. So if they love you, forget it. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you their shirt off their back. However, she does expect the same treatment in return and will feel hurt if you don't. Ooh, so she likes equal give and take. That's what I'm talking about. Shit, who doesn't? The fuck? She will support. Okay, so however, she doesn't spend the same treatment. Okay. If you are foolish enough to betray her and break her heart, she will never give you the chance to wound her again. Like her opposite sign, Scorpio, the Taurian woman can be jealous and resentful. I told y'all get that from Scorpio. Didn't I tell you? Here it goes, a book telling you. I told y'all that during a live. That y'all get that weird shit from us because we crazy as F. Even that temper shit. Listen, and she knows how to bear a grudge if you really kicked her in the teeth. Catherine the Great, for instance, was not a woman who forgave people easily. Mrs. Taurus is one of the Earth's mothers of the zodiac with an innate ability to take care of her special people in her life. So they're nurturing, they're nurturers. That means they're good mothers because when you're a nurturer, you're a good mother. Okay. Many Taurian women believe that their lives are incomplete without children. See what I said? Didn't I say that? Yo, that's crazy. They feel complete when they have kids. If they don't have kids, they don't like it. If being a mother is not possible for some reason, they will fill their gap with close friends or menagerie that includes both pets and plenty of passing wildlife. Oh God. The Taurus is a sign of the bull that provides plenty of clues about the Taurian personalities. With its enjoyment of the good things in life, Tauruses have 3 decadents of 10 degrees each. Taurians born in their first decadent are steady, practical, and only influenced by Taurus and Venus, basically lovers. You know what I'm saying? Those born with the second decadent are influenced by Virgo and Mercury, so are more painstaking and communicative. Those that are in the third decadent have a responsible, hardworking attitude of Capricorn and Saturn. So they're gonna want that paper, boy. So yeah, you got obviously a 3 of them. Now I'm gonna like break your soul with telling you about their asses over here with their karmas. Jeez. Here you go. Taurians are dominating, strong, and persistent people who find their easiest form of expression through movement. They are extremely stable and solid friends, highly reliable and predictable. They are also very orthodox, which makes them slow to accept new ideas. Taurus governs the cerebrum, the lower brain, and the nerve center, regulating physical movement. Hence, the initial response from a Taurian is to do something rather than think about it. This creates reactions rather than actions, giving rise to the emotional involvement and passionate expression. Nevertheless, this is an earth sign, a stabilizing influence that balances their emotions unless some extreme irration persists. In the normal course of events, these people have kindly dispositions and are slow to anger. But when ultimately aroused, they become volcanic. Once they explode, is it as though they have blown off excess steam from their escape valve, which in turn allows them to return to an equilibrium. That don't make no sense. Whoever wrote this book did a misspelling, but I'm not going to talk shit because I'm not the author. That didn't make no damn sense. I'm just saying. A further influence of Earth is observed in the Taurian love for comforts, financial security, and the good things in life. Okay, especially rich food. They like food. They have to learn that such food is rarely a good choice for their body. Oh, y'all like food too much, and that fucks with your health. Leave it alone. Your negative tendencies. Sheesh. So rich foods would be like cheesecake, just in case if y'all know what a rich food is. It doesn't mean like rich like gold flakes, which probably Taurus will like that too, though, because I sure would. Negative tendencies. All right, here's your negative tendencies. You're impulsive. Your desires play too great a part of your life. They must learn to reason more and to think carefully before doing than they will when they act. So basically, like y'all, like if y'all want some shit, you don't think, you just buy it. That type of stuff. Okay. Their consistency should never be allowed to become an obstinacy. Their generosity should not prompt them to become overindulgent. What I said, you want it, you buy it. There you go. Obstinacy and overindulgence are emotional reactions that are often resorted to when fear prevails. Fear of changes, fear of being disliked, or fear of being insecure. That's not good. The cerebrum is often referred to as the animal brain. Is it? I didn't know that. For it dominates the unconscious, the body's movement, and its passions. Special care should be taken to avoid emotional excess, for passion cannot hear the voice of reason. Interesting. So they must suffer from migraines then, because the cerebrum, that's the back of your head right here. See, I'm learning just as y'all is, because the cerebrum is crazy. All right. So it says on your health aspects, right? Health aspects. Taurians exert strong influence on their ears, their neck, and their throat, liver, and gallbladder. People born under the sign may have large ears, a strong neck, and a powerful voice. Many become successful wrestlers or singers. It is not uncommon for Taurians to have weight problems brought by primarily by their tendencies to overindulge in rich foods. What I said, get off the cheesecake. And to retain excess water in their body. The biochemical cell salt, NAT sulfate, is aligned with Taurus. Y'all heard what y'all gotta fucking get in your diet, right? I'll read it again. You don't spell this shit. How about this? NATSULPH. Get that shit on Amazon. It's called sodium sulfate. Okay. It's aligned with Taurus because this is the most efficient expeller of water. Deficiency in this salt will induce pains in your back and in your necks, which sometimes run down your spine, affecting your liver. Ooh, no, we need our livers. As this cell salt is vital to the body elimination of water, its lack will cause the body to resort to the next best means. It will produce nerve and muscular spasm. Oh, hell no. Thereby inducing feverishness from the violent effort to throw off excess moisture via bloodstream through perspiration. Ooh. Y'all better get this salt because this could really fuck with you. This also effectively reduces the body's toxicity levels. The alternative, fever and chill, as the body cleanses, then normalizes itself. So y'all probably sweat a lot. Together with the muscular aches from the spasms, give rise to the disease that continues to baffle physicians who have given the name of influenza. Oh shit, the flu. This is nuts, y'all. That's wild. Taurians in hot and humid climates where the air is supercharged with moisture and people drink more, run the risk greater of moisture retention, so which in turn impedes their digestion and their nutrition absorption. Okay, so let me read that shit again because they put these fucking parentheses and shit like that. Okay. Taurians in humid climates where the air is supercharged with moisture and people drink more, run the greater risk of moisture retention. And then it has like exclamations, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Which in turn impedes their digestion and their nutrition absorption. This often produces biliousness and sometimes predisposes one towards malaria. The habit of adding common salt, sodium chloride, to foods must be avoided, as this chemical works against their bodies in an effort to eliminate their excess moisture. Okay. Contrary to the popular opinion, salt does not avert dehydration or cramps. It is a mild poison, which in the reason of the body works to throw it off through its pores. Damn. Y'all can't fuck around with salt, apparently. What the fuck? Yowzers, bro. That is crazy. So you cannot add the common salt to your shit. Just saying, okay? Because it literally says here, the habit of adding common salt to foods must be avoided. So be careful with your salt. I'm just saying. It can't be the common salt. All right. So it says, contrary to popular opinion, salt does not avert dehydration or cramps. It is a mild poison, which is the reason the body works to throw it off through its pores. A diet comprised of foods rich in natural sodium sulfates will also be found to contain adequate natural sodium chloride to facilitate proper cellular chemical balances. The diet should also be low in saturated fatty acids and cholesterol to ease the strain on your liver, gallbladder, and arteries. Some of the most desirable foods include abundant fresh salads, vegetables, particularly sprouts, celery, and carrots. Dried foods such as figs, raisins, and sultanas are also exceptionally nourishing for Taurians. One meal a day of fresh fruits eaten raw is definitely beneficial, particularly as the first day meal. So for breakfast, you should be eating fruits, like a bowl of fruits, because y'all struggle with your body and shit. Like there's a lot of organ issues that y'all, yeah, like gallbladder's crazy. That shit, I had my gallbladder taken out. That shit was terrible. Painful as F too. Let me tell you. Your karmic lessons. Being born under Taurus is like, you know, everybody that's born under something. It's like my mom says, don't be born if you don't want to die. That's what my mother says, right? So your karmic lesson, to recognize the difference between the imprudent emotional reactions and balanced rational actions, provides one of the most vital experiences in the life of a person born under this sign. It is through service to humankind that they will learn to acquire mastery over their desires and their emotions. Consequently, they will always be led into activities that will allow them such experiences. Yeah, so don't be rash. Hopefully that was able to help y'all without confusing y'all. Just saying. Now we're going to go to Gemini. All right, y'all. Jeez. All right, let's do Gemini, y'all. Y'all was asking for Gemini, but I bet you no Geminis is even in this chat right now. I bet you. So it says on your Gemini files. All right, so the Geminis ruled by the planet of Mercury, which gives members of this sign their great gift of communication. Okay. They thrive on keeping in contact with others and love exchanging ideas. Gemini is one of the most versatile signs of the zodiac, with the ability to switch from one activity to the next at a moment's notice. It makes life hectic, but stops them from being bored. So they like to keep themselves moving. Thank you, Kevin. How to spot a Gemini. Oh, boy. Gemini is the Peter Pan of the zodiac. A typical Gemini usually looks younger than their true age and emphasizes this by choosing clothes that are youthful and relaxed. They particularly love wearing stripes or spots and enjoying dressing in two colors such as blue and white. Their movements are quick and like a bird's eye, giving them a rather elfin quality. And their lively eyes take in everything that's going on around them. They are usually slender and retain their slim shape throughout their lives. Okay, so it's very rare to find a Gemini that's heavy side. Another telltale clue when you have to identify a Gemini is the way that they talk with their hands and their arms. Well, shit, I ain't got no Gemini in my chart, but I sure do a lot of this with my hands. This sign gesticulates a lot, often without realizing it. They like adorning their fingers with rings, and if they wear bracelets and bangles, you will hear these clanking together whenever the Gemini waves their arms around. Accessories are another Gemini's favorites, including bags and belts, and most self-respecting Geminis are never seen without their cell phones. You guys, really? Without your cell phones? What? That's bad, bro. Jeez. They may carry a laptop or a tablet around with them too, so they need never be out of a contact with the rest of the world. So y'all like to keep in contact with the world, obviously. You're obviously the element of air, okay? Your modality is mutable. So basically you can change around other people, all right? You're not like a fixed sign like a Taurus or a fucking Scorpio or headed asses and shit. Your planet ruler is Mercury. Your color that empowers you as a Gemini is yellow. So you should be wearing yellow. It makes you stronger, okay? Your day of the week is a Wednesday. Your gemstone is agate. In case if you guys want to get a necklace or a fucking ring with the stone, you got to wear it because this is what empowers you as that sign, okay? Your top 10 traits is that you're quick-witted, you're versatile, you're talkative, you're lively, you're restless, you're mercurial, you're dexterous, you're clever, you're flirtatious, and you're mendacious, whatever the hell that meant. The last one, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving. The Gemini man. Spending time with a Gemini man is like watching a Quicksilver in action. First, he's lively, and then he becomes quieter and more thoughtful. Oh, shit. He has a restless energy and then turns languid. Before leaping to his feet again, he cracks jokes about effortlessly switching into a serious conversation. What's going on? Nothing. He simply is being himself. Being around a Gemini for long can be a dizzying experience because here is someone who thrives on nervous energy and is easily bored, so is always looking for entertainment. Oh no, someone is always looking for entertainment, gonna cheat. Just saying. Like, what? That makes no sense. What are you looking for entertainment for? Being born under the air sign automatically endows Mr. Gemini with a good brain, but being ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, gives him an extra intellectual edge. The smarties, they're smarts. Some Gemini men are formidable, intelligent, with a wide range of skills, even though they do their best to hide it. Hugh Laurie's abilities as an actor, musician, and writer show what an all-rounded Gemini can be. The mutable quality of his sign gives Mr. Gemini his ability to adapt to certain circumstances, and also his need not to be bogged down by anything he considers to be boring or restrictive. That's crazy. That is wild. Geminis are renowned for their duality. They are natural multitaskers and rarely do one thing at a time. It is quite typical and natural for a Gemini to read a magazine while watching television and holding a conversation. Damn, I do the same damn thing, though. I do the same shit. I'll be multitasking. I'll be like working, looking at YouTube and talking shit. and still keeping up with all three, which is even worse. That's terrible. All right, so it says on here, Mr. Gemini needs always to keep on his toes, not only intellectually, but emotionally too. So you can't be a dumbass bitch and be with a Gemini man because he's going to replace you quick as hell. I'm just saying. He cannot deal with a dummy. You got to stimulate this man's mind, okay? I'm just saying. Just in case if y'all was interested in the Gemini man. When looking for a partner, he needs someone who's endlessly amusing and interesting. See what I said? You got to stimulate him. And who matches his brain cell for cell. What I just motherfucking said. Damn. I hit that shit right in the nail. You can't be a dumbass. You have to be interesting. But not interesting in like a toxic way. Interesting. Like, you know, keep him entertained. That's what that's about. All right? Which I mean, most men need to be entertained anyways. Because if you don't, then they straight, right? Just saying. All right. So it says on here, when looking for a partner, he needs someone who is endlessly amusing and interesting and who matches his brain cell for brain cell. Unless he has plenty of stabilizing Taurus or devoted Cancer in his chart. Once the first flush of romance has gone, he has developed a roving eye at best and the morals of an alley cat at worst. Oh, they cheat us. What I said. Cheat us. Mm-hmm. Didn't I say when a man is not entertained, they will stray? Okay, here they go. They just said it. While many Gemini men are faithful, others enjoy the buzz that comes from infidelities. But it's because they get bored. I mean, that makes sense, though. I mean, at least to me. I don't know if y'all think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. If I'm bored with you and I'm not entertained by you, you're not keeping up with me intellectually. Why would it be with you? But why would I want to fuck around with you? Like, I'm gonna look elsewhere for someone that is gonna be at my level. That makes sense to me. I don't know. It just sounds logical. Gemini is the trickster of the zodiac, and honestly isn't always on the top of Mr. Gemini's list of virtues. Oh shit. The artful dodger who was a Fagin Tops pickpocket in Charles Dickens's novel Oliver Twist must surely have been a Gemini. Another famous literary Gemini is Sherlock Holmes, whose ability to observe, analyze, put two and two together, and always come up with the right answers. Ooh. President John F. Kennedy became almost as renowned for his endless sexual conquest as for his politics. He was a Gemini. Well, here are the women, because y'all know the women and the men are different, right? So for the Gemini women, oh, Angelina Jolie's a Gemini. That makes sense because Angelina Jolie just be like, I don't know, like one day I saw her like loving on this guy, rapping, and then she wanted to murder his mother. She's like, what the fuck is going on with these people? Jesus. The Gemini woman, there is an unpredictable quality to Miss Gemini that you either love or hate, and she can switch from one persona to another quickly. Eesh. Yo, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Let me go back. And she can switch from one persona to another quickly, that you may wonder if she has a twin sister that she never told you about. This is especially true if she has several planets in Gemini, because that will make her very changeable indeed. If you enjoy being with someone whose moods switch in a millisecond and who always has something interesting to tell you, then you're going to love her company. But if you want a woman who is predictable and traditional as Big Ben, you're barking up the wrong tree. Damn. Miss Gemini can be intensely feminine with a gammon look that emphasizes her elfin fragility. Just like Kylie Minogue, like her male counterpart, she lives on her nerves, which can do wonders for her waistline, but makes it tricky for her to relax. Although she has a loving nature and enjoys having a partner in her life, provided that they have brains to keep up with her, you can't be dumb to be with them. You're not going to be able to hold their attention. If you're a dummy and you can't talk about interesting things, you got to be an intellect. Maybe you should be a life path 7. Fuck it. Life path 7 will go well with Geminis. I'm telling you right now. Because they're natural intellects. All right. Yeah. Otherwise, they quickly become history. She may not be interested in having kids. Many Gemini women prefer to pursue a satisfying career than to restrict themselves as they see it by bringing up a family. However, Geminis can be unpredictable. The singer Josephine Baker bucked this trend by adopting 12 kids of different nationalities in her rainbow family. Angelina Jolie, too, she got mad kids she adopted. Those who do become mothers will expect their children to be relatively self-sufficient, such as making their own suppers, because the typical Gemini mother will have so many outside interests that she won't have time to pander to her children's every need. She's the sort of woman who is faced with a choice between reading or writing a novel, washing the kitchen floor, or having no problems in making up her mind. Will have no problems in making up her mind, my bad. She may even be mystified by house-proud women, wondering how they can bear to do dusting when they could be busy with something much more interesting. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But anyway, gossip and Geminis go together. Miss Gemini loves to know what's going on around her. At her best, she simply observes people and their fascinating idiosyncrasies, marveling at the endless quirks of human nature with her sharp wit. Razor tongue Joan Rivers and characters played by Joan Collins and great Gemini examples. It's the perfect inspiration for her diary, website, blogs, and stand-up comedy routine she does on weekends. But at the other end of the scale, she will enjoy dishing the dirt, analyzing other people's actions in minute detail, and keeping the rumor mill turning. Gemini is the sign of the twins. The stars that form the constellation of Gemini have long been thought to show a part of twins. In Greek mythology, the twins are Castor and Pollux. Castor was the mortal son of the king of Sparta, and Pollux was the divine son of Zeus. Dang, we're not going to read about the kids, but we definitely going to tell y'all about your health ailments, because here I come. You know what I'm saying? Just like I talk about your traits, here we come. Hey, yo, what I just dropped? All right, so obviously y'all got a brief of what the characteristics are, but I'm about to read them again for you. Here are obliged to consider two people in one, symbolically represented as the twins. The sign of the Geminis indicate two personalities. Okay. One relates to the innate individuality, and the other relates to the personality of social intercourse. Belonging to the air signs of the heterotopicity, Gemini people are extremely sensitive and subject to rapid change of thought without warning. Their fast-moving brains tend to give them a mercurial nature, but this also implies some very beneficial abilities. That is, a reliable sense of discrimination and gift of communication. To be instantly able to discriminate between sense and nonsense. Okay. Truth and falsehood. So they could catch you if you lying. Don't be trying to lie. All right. And then it says on here, reality and unreality is a characteristic of Geminis. So too is their ability to communicate their ideas in writing. They convey their thoughts more freely this way than they can usually do verbally. Their negatives, okay? The twin personalities of the Gemini have disadvantages of confusing people, and even Geminis themselves can be uncertain of how to react to different situations. In general, they tend to oscillate between their lower and higher selves, their emotional and spiritual natures. Once they learn not to react, but to thoughtfully consider first, they will not be so drawn to the emotional. Until then, they will find their power of concentration diminishing, with a corresponding increase in uncertainty and nervousness. Rest and relaxations are prime requisites that help to keep their nerves under control. They should become involved in arts, okay, including singing, playing an instrument, painting, pottery, and so on. This will provide balance to their lives, and it is an excellent balm for their nervous system. All right. The health issues. Usually, most notable features of a Gemini's body are their strong arms, their hands, and their shoulders. Their major weakness lies in their respiratory. Ooh, congestion is a common problem for your lungs. The most important of the 12 biochemic cell salts for the Geminis is kali-mur, potassium chloride. Y'all heard what that shit is called because you need it in your diet. All right. This is both an essential blood nourisher and vital nutrient for your proper formation of fibrin, the elastic fibrosis protein that regulates the formulation of your skin and your hair. A deficiency of potassium chloride can cause a thickening of fibrin, menstrual irregularities. Damn, I can't even talk today. And or congestion when located in the respiratory passages. This might manifest in pleurisy, cataract, pneumonia, bronchitis, and diphtheria, whatever that shit is. I definitely don't know what diphtheria is, but I'm about to Google that later. If the congested fibrin is not thrown out of the bloodstream, it can create embolisms that might clog the arteries and the ventricles of your heart, ultimately causing it to stop. Oh shit, that is not good, yo. The most satisfactory manner by which to obtain adequate potassium chloride is through your diets. Foods richest in natural potassium chloride are listed below. Y'all, no bueno. So kelp, powder and granules, you should have that in your diet. Yeast, brewers and torula, avocados. I love avocado. Coconut meat. Oh, I love coconut meat too. Fresh. It has to be fresh, not that fake shit. Not that dry shit that they be selling at the stores. Not that. Dried fruits. Most fresh vegetables, especially sprouts, asparagus, cabbage, carrots, celery, eggplants, kohlrabi. What the fuck is that? Lettuce, parsnip, and tomatoes. What the hell is kohlrabi? Can y'all tell me? Your karmic lesson. All people that are born under the air sign are motivated by a yearning for sisterhood. Yet this is less obvious in the expression of the Geminis than the Libras and the Aquarians. The strong mentality of the Gemini, especially evident in their analytical approach to life, to people, is inclined to make them appear more egocentric than they really are. This is further aggravated by the difficulty in verbal expressions, which is so often a part of the Gemini nature. Deep within, Geminis know that they often misrepresent themselves. Though this is not intentional, they do not know how to correct that. They will find release from the quarantine when they acknowledge the yearning in the depths of their souls for love, companionship, and understanding in a world sisterhood. As Geminis mature, they become more aware of the importance of compassion in their relationships with other people. Shit. So are y'all telling me that y'all don't take your relationships serious up until y'all get older? That's wild. Just saying. So that's Gemini, y'all. That's wild. So you can't be a dumbass. Preferably, you should be a Life Path 7. I'm just going to be honest, because Life Path 7s like to read and they're very intellectual and they can hold a conversation. I always say that if you're going to I guess it depends on the sign, but I mean, I'm a Scorpio. So for me, if you can't hold a conversation with me within the first 5 minutes, I see no need in giving you my phone number. Absolutely none. Like, if you can't entertain me, keep my mind going and flowing, you're going to be a boring ass lover. You're going to be a boring ass boyfriend. You're going to be a boring ass friend. You got no space in my coral. I'm just saying. I once talked to this guy. He was actually an architect. And through the phone, he was terrible with conversation. But in person, he kept me like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, wow. Like, I was so like entertained, even though like I wasn't looking at him as like a love interest at that time, because he was just too busy for me and I couldn't do all that. But he basically was the smartest guy to like sit and have a conversation with. He would talk to me about the planets. He would talk to me about paintings. And I'm like, God damn, Can we just get married right now? Because you keep me so entertained. He he was always catching up with my conversations, and I was like, this is the type of man that if it would have been in another person in another situation, I would marry that man, because he was just at my level at every way. Like everything we were talking about, he was on it. You know, we were talking about conversation, relationships, you know, people not being able to, you know, be truthful and stuff like that. And he was just talking to me, quoting books, and I'm like, damn, he was not a Gemini, but shit, motherfucker was smart as if, boy. Very smart dude. Had me lollygagging for real. I was like, that's the type of man that I need when I'm older. I was young. I was like 21, I think. I was like 21, but damn, he had me stupid, boy. We talked about like the planets and everything. I'm like, I'm in love, but I'm only 21. Shit. Yo, so we're gonna touch up on cancers. Now we don't keep in my comments talking shit about cancers, because a lot of y'all love to slander, boy. Like I said, there's so many different ones that it's kind of like you need to understand who you're dealing with. The point of me doing this here for y'all is simply so y'all can learn, bro, so y'all can understand your people, because not everybody is gonna be the same. It's rather obvious, but if you're able to understand why your person acts the way that they do, maybe you're able to move around that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're able to understand why the connection did not work out, right? All right. So we're going to go with cancers. All right, Cancer. And as I said, they have 3 decadents, right? All right. Cancer is the sign of the crab, and there are many connections between them. Crabs walk sideways, and the Cancerians also approach their life from an angle rather than head on. Remember, I told y'all that during a live too, that they move like this and like this in life. So they don't head on. Like they're not confrontational like that. Even though they can blow up and be crazy, they're not confrontational. They're not like a Scorpio, okay? Cancerians are renowned for their tenacity, just like the crab's claws, gripping a tasty morsel and not letting go. Cancerians are very sensitive and emotional people with a strong love for their home and their families. So they're family oriented, y'all. And please don't be in the comments like, oh my God, well, my Cancer was a cheater. Yo, listen, I am not here to play y'all psychologist, even though I could. I really could. But I'm just simply trying to help y'all understand people. There's always going to be evolved and unevolved signs. So you may have met one that was unevolved. Yo, please understand. This is just like me talking about the sign. All right. How to spot a Cancer. One of the most noticeable features of the Cancers is their pale skin, which can have a milky tone, regardless of their ethnic backgrounds. As a result, they are sensitive to too much sunlight and can easily get sunburned. Their hair is finely textured. When choosing clothes, they often wear items that are equivalent to the comfort of a blanket, such as a favorite cardigan or sweater that makes them feel safe and protected from the outside world. Cancerians are ruled by the moon and typically have a rounded appearance. Their faces are full of soft curves rather than sharp angles, and their bodies can become slightly plump with age, so they can gain weight, okay? They may try to disguise this by wearing varying degrees of success, wearing loose clothes that are billowy or that are skim over the areas that they want to hide, okay? Cancerians look good wearing silver jewelry. Y'all should be wearing silver jewelry. Tip number 1. Oh, Lord. It often suits their skin tones far better than gold. See what I said? Tip number 1. Write it down. Y'all get your little notebooks. And they like to reflect quality. SG, you bugged out. Cancer is the element of water. Modality is a cardinal sign. They're cardinal signs, okay? Like Aries. Their planetary ruler is the moon. That's why they represent the moon in the tarot. All right. The color is silver. Yeah, but you're not supposed to, because silver empowers your sign. That's why your color is silver, SG. You're supposed to wear silver even if you like gold. Okay. Your day of the week is Mondays. So you're going to move better in life on Mondays. You know what I mean? Just so y'all know. You ain't been in the live, SG. Where you been, girl? Your gemstone, pearls. One of my favorites. I love gems. I love like the gemstone of pearl. Like I look. Y'all think I'm gaslighting. Look, this is freshwater pearls. My mother bought this to me when I was like really, really young. I'm talking about like before I turned 20. I think she bought it at me at 19 or 18 years old. So I got an actual black freshwater pearl necklace that I also wear that my mother also purchased for me because my mother loved pearls, y'all. All right. So your top 10 traits are you're home loving, you're emotional, you're intuitive, you're tenacious, you're defensive, you're maternal, you're nostalgic, you're easily offended, you're moody, and you're subjective. Okay. This is the Cancer man. All right. So this is such an emotional sign that being a Cancerian man can be difficult if he is expected to be very macho and detached. Here is a man who is ruled by his feelings, with a strong and deep love for his family and his friends, and who needs to form enriching emotional ties with the people around him. Sometimes the sense of family extends to an entire country or a region. Okay. Because many can. I'm not that young. I know I look young. My mother did not look her age either. My mother, she was damn near fucking 55 and she went to the store with me and somebody thought she was my sister. I was like, no. My mother aged like fine wine. I'm not lying to y'all. Like literally, like she didn't start to look older until she hit 60. I tell her all the time, I hope that when I'm 60, I look like she did shit. So it says on here, here's a man who's ruled by his feelings, with strong and deep love for his family and friends, and who needs to form enriching emotional ties with the people around them. Sometimes this sense of family extends to an entire country or region because many charismatic leaders and power brokers have been born under this sign. They include Charles Parnell, the Irish nationalist, and Thomas Stamford Raffles, who is founded Singapore. Oh shit, that's what's up. This man founded Singapore. Okay, so an easy way to understand a Cancerian's personality is to think of the crab that represents the sign. Its likeliness is to hide from predators. So confrontation. Remember when I said that shit? Confrontation. I don't tell people my age, but I'm not that young. I got a daughter that is 18. I'm not that young. So it says on here. All right, so it hides from predators, has a hard shell encasing a vulnerable body, and uses its claws for defenses. So a typical Cancerian also seeks out a comfortable and safe environment and protects their highly sensitive feelings with an outward show of toughness and defensiveness. So they try not to be confrontational. Understand that when you're dealing with them, if they feel threatened, they will go into seclusion. So if Cancer runs away, just let them be in their bubble, okay? Well, because y'all don't like confrontation, so they will hide from predators and protect themselves. Okay? Basically, like if you come to attack a Cancer, like to fight with them and shit like that, they're gonna withdraw. You know what I'm saying? It says on here, a typical Cancerian man would express the cardinal aspects of his sign by wanting to provide for his family by earning enough money, not enough to pay the bills, but to also have plenty left over for a rainy day. Because emotional and physical securities are both tremendously important to him, some male Cancerians, such as John Jacob Astor and Richard Branson, have taken this ability to acquire money to an almost stratospheric level, so they become rich. Okay. Regardless of the size of the Cancer's bank balance, he will love taking part in domestic life, and if his job permits it, he is likely to be a father who is more involved in his children's upbringing than most of the other signs. That is very true. I told y'all that beforehand, that the Cancers, they're very good parents. The men and the women, I'm telling you, they're very, very nurturing. All right. Like, I mean, they'll put their kids in front of a lover type of shit. All right. All right, so let's go back down here. Bring us up the signs. All right. It will give him a huge thrill to bathe the baby or doting, watch his children race around the track on their school sports days. All is well while his children are small, but he can become bewildered when they start to show their first signs of independence, and can be distinctly frosty once he realizes that they're about to leave his home. Oh, jeez. Even to the point of taking it to a personal. Oh, that's not good. I mean, you gotta let your kids grow, right? You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't like to let your babies leave the nest. It's like a mama bird. Yeah. One person who looms large in the life of Mr. Cancer is his mother. This will always be one of his most important relationships, whether it's based on love and affection or if it's something less cozy. Sometimes a Cancerian man adores his mother to such an extent that no other woman will ever quite match her. Another option is for there to be so much tension between them that they will never see eye to eye, yet she will still exert a powerful hold over him. She's a great influence in his life. Okay. Cancer is a water sign, which can lead to moodiness. And Mr. Cancer can definitely swing between happiness and huffiness. There are days when he is easygoing and cheerful, and then there's others when he's defensive and easily hurt. On these tricky days, very often, all he needs is a big hug and reassurance that all is well. I like that. You know, this is crazy. All right. So, and then they talk about like the famous Cancer men and stuff, which we don't care about unless they're improving our bank accounts. Who gives a shit? The Cancer women. Here y'all go. The women are one of the most striking qualities of Cancerian women is her strong maternal streak. Good mothers. Again, good parents. Good motherfucking parents. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna talk about they bad shit in a minute, motor culture. This is just like who they are, right? One of the most striking qualities of Cancerian woman is her strong maternal streak. It may not be visible all the time, but it is there, regardless of whether she has a brood of her own children or a collection of friends and family who depend on her. Miss Cancer loves taking care of people, nurturers. Remember I said that? Okay. She enjoys cooking for them, making time tempting like treats such as rich chocolates, cakes, or rib sticking suppers to show that she cares. So she's maternal. She acts like a mom. Okay. In fact, she thinks it's rude if she doesn't have something delectably edible to offer visitors when they drop in. In an ideal world, she will have made herself, but often, much to her regret, her hectic career doesn't allow her. So I see them more as like housewives. They will be good housewives. You know, like back in the days, like in the 1900s, you know how like they used to like SG, you bugged out. Yo. Yo. SG. I literally just told y'all they fall into three. They fall into three parts. Depends on where your person's falling into, girl. Yo. All right, let's go back. The cardinal quality of a Cancer makes this woman very powerful. She's keen to succeed. One example of a highly motivated Cancerian woman is Emmeline Pankhurst, who worked so tirelessly for British women to be given the right to vote. Oh, okay. Not every Cancerian woman can attain Mrs. Pankhurst's level of achievement, but even so, she will work hard to get where she wants to be. And if she has a family, she will do her very best to juggle her domestic and her job responsibilities, even though that won't always be easy. What she can't achieve, she will fret over and feel guilty about something that is her second nature. Being a water sign that is ruled by the moon makes Mrs. Cancer highly emotional. She will do her best to hide this from the public. Y'all hear that? She will do her best to hide this from the public. That means that she's not gonna be like a Scorpio, mad emotional, showing you that she's, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are fucking funny in the chat, boy. Y'all are distracting me. This shit is fucking funny. Every man is hard to deal with if they're unevolved. Y'all are wildin'. Oh shit. All right, let's go back to the Cancer woman. Her sentimentality and inner gooiness will soon become apparent when you get to know her better and she drops her defenses. She's easily moved to tears over all sorts of things that other signs do not even notice, and has a great need to feel secure emotionally. She has tremendous intuition and imagination too, which can be very helpful and steer her into the right direction, but can also make her imagine the worst of absolutely no good reason. Okay, so y'all freak out for no fucking good reason. At times, Mrs. Cancer can become moody and over emotional so that people near her feel as though they're tippy-toeing around her. Her protective nature makes her want to spring to the aid of anybody that is suffering, and some Cancerian women, including Diana, Princess of Wales, and Esther Rantinson, have made this a personal crusade. Okay. Here is the star facts. The word lunatic originally came from Latin lunaticus, which its implication that mental stability is affected by the phases of the moon. Far from this being an old wives' tale, it is now recognized in many quarters that the new moon and full moons coincide with periods of unrest and turbulence. Very true. How much crimes be happening in the full moons, y'all already know. It'd be crazy out here in the streets, and new moon people be always trying to do the weirdest shit. That is very true. It's also the reason why it's good to do magic on those moons, but let's just keep moving on. All right. The emergency services, such as police and ambulance, have extra staff on duty on those days. Yep, damn right. The lunar energy is even stronger during the eclipse. A serious world event often coincides with an eclipse. So when something life-changing happens, it's normally in an eclipse. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's really cool. I like stuff like that. I think that shit is cool. So it talks about the kids right here. We're not going to talk about the kids right now because we're going to just go into your shit. The full moon is crazy. Well, that's because you're a Cancer, so that will be your moon. You know what though, SG, like being a Cancer, you probably have mood swings on them days too. You probably crazy as F on the full moon. Probably violent too. All right, let's go to the Cancers. Yo, give me a minute. I gotta put some chapstick because I was outside with my sister today, and my fucking lips is burning. I'm like, God damn, I wasn't even out that long. But it's damn near like 10 degrees where I'm at. I kid you not, y'all. Let me see if it went up. Because we had a snowstorm. And you know what's crazy? My sister was in New York City last night. Y'all, the amount of snow that was coming down in New York and other New York City people was going crazy. Like, y'all really be trying to act like y'all did not have a snowstorm not that long ago. Why y'all don't got coats? Why y'all not equipped? It was crazy. She couldn't even get through. Traffic was crazy slow. She's like, why they driving so slow? And I'm like, girl, they're not used to snow like us. Shit. What's the weather at right now? Because I know when I was outside where it was like 10 degrees, y'all, my fucking ass was freezing, boy. All right. Cancers. The astrological term Cancer derives from the Latin for crab and has no relationship to the malignant disease. Okay. The disease was so called because of its tumultuous nature and unrestrained reproductive ability. Symbolically, the crab tells us much about the motivation and expression of the people born under the sign. They are persistent, cautious, and prudent, with a dependably sensitive and tender nature. Dependably, I can't even fucking talk. Deeply, my bad, damn. With a deeply sensitive and tender nature. Their perseverance is enforced by a cultivated hardness and acquired protection of their sensitive feelings. Okay, like I said, gotta tread carefully with them because, you know what I'm saying, they're emotional. All right. All right, so it says the perseverance is enforced by cultivated hardness and acquired protection of sensitive feelings. They are home loving with a deep concern for their castle and the well being of all things within. So, their family life, their house, you know what I mean? Their love for their children is often satisfied by producing large families for which their robust reproductive organs stand them in good stead. A further crab like expression is the fondness these people have of collecting things for which they have no immediate use for or prospect of use. SG, you collecting them goggles that guy wants back? Oh shit. Especially pronounced is the protectiveness and tenacity of those born under the Cancer sign. These traits underlie so much of their endeavor, physical, emotional, and mental. They possess a naturally good memory and strive to retain this. Okay. Important attributes. All right. Cancerians are often drawn to health related fields, for they are natural healers with a deep concern for human welfare. All right. Memory being tenacity of thought. Their negative tendencies. All right. Their acute sensitivity of Cancerians must be recognized as a vital to their spiritual growth. So y'all got to listen to what this is telling you. Okay. The acute sensitivity of a Cancer must be recognized as vital to their spiritual growth and to their loving concerns for others. But unless they have achieved a reasonable level of mastery, these people risk the decline of their strengths by becoming victims to their own emotions. I said to y'all, they're sensitive. Be very careful. All right, because they go into their head and boom, it gets all fucked up, right? You came out staying in the life. Yo, that shit is funny. Yo, Mo, you're funny as hell. Oh, God. These are manifested as nervous outbursts and moodiness, creating considerable drains on their energy reserves. It fucks with your spirituality. Okay. Parents must be especially careful to train their Cancer children to gain confidence in themselves and their feelings and not to react emotionally to apparent thoughtfulness demonstrated by less sensitive people. You cannot raise a weak motherfucker if you have a Cancer. You have to train them to be strong or this world will fucking eat them up. Okay? Unless they're carefully trained in self-discipline, these children could become reclusive and very shy, especially if they have the arrow of hypersensitivity. In practice, I have found that many people who believe they are suffering from hypoglycemia are in reality suffering acute enervation induced by the lack of control of their extreme sensitivity. This applies particularly to the people that are born under the Cancer sign. You hear that, right? They are inclined to worry about things of domestic nature, especially the home and the welfare of their kids. Fear, financials, insecurity is also a great source of worry for a Cancerian. Unless these anxieties and torments are controlled, mental imbalances will follow. You heard that shit, right? If they don't feel financial stability, they're going to act the fuck out. If they feel like some shit not good in their house, they're going to act the fuck out. I'm teaching y'all about these people so you're not seeing here acting crazy in my comments. Because there's 3 sets. Remember their decadence? Remember what I told y'all? I'll read the decadence real quick for y'all so y'all can understand where they fall, right? I'm going to read their decadence. Here we go. All right, y'all. Okay, for the Cancers. Okay. The Cancers have, there's 3. There's Moon in Cancer. Okay. There's Pluto in Scorpio. That's got to be terrible. And there's Pisces Cancers in Neptune. Okay. Crazy. All right. Now here we go with the crazy shit, right? Here are their health aspects, right? The sign of Cancer exerts its major influence in the chest, their spleen, their solar plexus, and their stomachs. People with the sun sign must be very careful with their diet because they do not have strong stomachs and easily succumb to gastric problems. I gotta tell my daughter that. My daughter's a Virgo and she has a Cancer moon. Hey, that damn Scorpio. When associated with worries, they give a fine prescription for ulcers. Simple. Natural foods should be comprised their basic diets because Cancerians must assiduously avoid highly seasoned or highly preserved foods such as curry, peppers, pickles, strong cheeses, heavily spiced continental types of foods, and so on. The most vital biochemic cell salt for the Cancer sign is calcium fluoride, the cell salt that plays an essential role. Okay, thank you, SG. An essential role in the development and the maintenance of their brains. Y'all need to listen to this because this is your health. Like, this shit is what's gonna keep you alive, bro. Serious. Okay. So I'm going to read it again. The most vital biochemic cell salt for Cancerians is calcium fluoride, the cell salt that plays an essential role in the development and maintenance of their brain membranes, as well as their eyes, their teeth, their bones, and their internal cellular structure of their skin. A deficiency of this mineral salt will result from a diet lacking in green vegetables, sprouts, carrots, and salted raw nuts, or mild cheeses, especially cottage cheese. Who eats raw nuts? I like to have a little bit of salt on my nuts. That's kind of crazy, right? But y'all, it's so crazy like how every sign has like a way that they need to eat or they'll like fucking cease to exist. Not even just like health-wise, but spiritually too, which is crazy. Because it plays up with your functions, right? So like y'all mental, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to have a clear mind. So eating correct is going to keep you balanced. All right. So it says on here, these foods are excellent sources of natural calcium fluoride. Such deficiencies can result in cracked skins, loss of your cellular elasticity, so like saggy skin, okay? Especially between your toes or your fingers around the anus or your mouth. Oh, geez. So right here, I guess. Early loss of memory. Alzheimer's disease. No. And the development of anxiety complex, cataracts in your eyes. Oh! Cataracts. Hell no. That can lead to blindness, y'all. And for women, very painful periods. And ultimately weakened reproductive organs. Oh, no. Y'all better get it together. Y'all better get it together because this shit'll tear your asses up just like Gemini's was. Yeah, Gemini's had a bad one. Your karmic lesson. SG, get the fuck out of here. I talking about, oh no, not a loose anus. If nobody fucking up your ass, you ain't gotta worry about that. You should never let nobody do that because that's a spiritual tie, by the way. There's something spiritual about that. The anus. You gotta run to some market with anxiety in general to keep yourself alive. Yo. All right, let's read your karmic lessons. By using the mind to attain a degree of emotional control and by conserving nervous energy, we achieve the most precious of all possessions, inner peace. Such is the essential lesson to be pursued by the Cancers. Self-control is not always easily achieved, but then neither is anything of lasting value attained without efforts. As soon as they learn to channel their sensitivities into avenues of healing and human welfare, Cancerians will have made significant progress in acquiring this harmonious peace. Y'all live too much in your heads and it fucks with you. Okay. So your lesson, obviously, is to attain a degree of emotional control and conserve your nervous energy, okay? To achieve the precious possession of inner peace. It will provide you with peace. Self-control is not always easily achieved, but then neither is anything else. So you have to work on that, Cancers, because that's your karmic lesson. It's for you to be in peace. But you got to control yourself. And you definitely need that salt. Just in case if y'all didn't remember it, the most vital biochemical salt for Cancerians is calcium fluoride, the cell salt that plays an essential role for your development of your maintenance of your brains. And fuck around. Don't listen to me. Your ass is going to have a fuck ton of problems coming around from that because goddamn, y'all can have a bunch of shit like blindness. First of all, to me, the memory is such, even though I don't have Cancer in my chart, to me, the memory is such an important thing to have that I'm going to incorporate this salt into my diet. And I'm going to tell you why. Unless the Scorpio one says not to, I'm going to incorporate this into my diet. And the reason why is because there's so many people that suffer from memory loss. Like there are people that if you ask them to tell you detail by detail, like how their day went, they can't tell you a motherfucking thing. They be like, girl, I don't even remember what I did yesterday. How am I going to remember what I did an hour ago? Like, what is you talking about? What? So you should be using that salt because listen here. Memory is so important. Like when you're older, you know, your memory starts to fade away. First of all, a lot of the things that we eat is fucks with our, you know what I'm saying, with our bodies, with our eyes, with our you know what I'm saying, our skin, our elasticity, like our gut health. Like naturally, you know, if you really do like your research, like a lot of the cheeses aren't even real. Do you know that shredded cheese that they sell at the stores have chemicals in them? Like you gotta grade your own cheese. Like you gotta get your own natural cheese and grade that shit. Yeah, you guys can get the Alzheimer's disease. Mm-hmm. It's actually a prominent thing for y'all. For this thing, you need to have that salt so you can balance your body out. For me, if I'm old, I want to be able to know who everybody is that's around me. Like if I'm gonna pass and stuff like that, I want to be able to know like that's my daughters, that's my husband. I think like it's such a horrible thing to die and feel like the person that's caring for you, if that's your partner, you looking at them like they're your enemy, like they're trying to kill you, and they're not. They're just your husband that you've been married to for like a long time, and that's why Alzheimer's disease, like dementia, shit like that, the worst of shit. I'm telling y'all, worst of shit. All right, so we finna go to Leo. And then I'm going to end it on Leo, and then we're going to continue this some other live. We'll finish the rest of y'all, and don't be getting mad, y'all. I'm just saying. So here's Leo gang. The Leos. Because I did yesterday Libra, so I don't really need to do Libra again. I mean, I technically could. That way, if y'all wanted to come back into this lives and stuff like that are not tarot related, y'all can come in and look and listen. Okay. So, Leos. When you meet a Leo, the one thing to remember is that they belong to the sign of the lions. Yo, that means their temper gonna be crazy. The lion is, after all, the king of the jungle and therefore expects to be treated with respect. Okay, well, I must have a Leo placement somewhere because I do the same thing. You gotta rewind it. I started off with Aries. I had did a different live and then I deleted it. That's why I started with Aries. I did Aries. I've done everybody from Aries to Leo right now, so we're just doing Leo at this moment. All right, so it says on here, some Leos love to be noticed and to be the center of the attention, while others are quieter and less showy. But they all need to find creative and fulfilling ways to express themselves. Okay, how to spot a Leo. Okay, this is the sign of royalty. And there is often a suitable regal element to a Leo's appearance. It may be the confident way they walk with their head up, as though they are the most important person in the room, or it could be their good quality clothes. A Leo may not have the money to buy the expensive designer labels they long for, but they will always do their best to look stylish, fashionable, and to avoid themselves looking down. So, thank you for joining us, SG. Because you don't ever be on my lives no more, girl. So, this is on the idea. May not have the money to buy expensive dinners. Some Leos dress in a muted and discreet way, while others prefer plenty of flamboyance. Very often, the first thing you will notice about a Leo is their hair. Just like the lion that represents the sign, a Leo's hair is usually thick, lustrous, and can sometimes look like a lion's mane. It tends to be blonde and wavy, and any self reflecting Leo will lavish plenty of love and attention on it. Gold is Leo's color, whether they are wearing gold jewelry or clothes that are gold or orange. Okay. It's a fire sign. They're fixed, meaning they're fucking hard headed. Everything that's fixed, remember, you can't make the motherfuckers change. They're not going to change for your asses. They only change because they want to. Okay. The planetary ruler is the sun. All right. Hence why they represent the sun in the tarot deck. All right. The colors that empowers a Leo person or someone that has Leo in their chart should be only gold and orange. So you could wear like me, like gold necklaces that would empower you, or gold earrings that empowers you. Orange shirts, orange pants, whatever. I mean, it's so hard to wear orange though, y'all, but still, it's still your colors, right? Your gemstone that you should have on you, whether it's on a necklace or a ring, is tiger's eye, and that shit is money. Tiger's eye. It also has to do with spirituality, like it cleanses your energy. Okay. Again, tiger's eye. Copy one. That's a good stone to have. Look it up. It has a lot of benefits, y'all. Their top 10 traits. They're dignified, they're proud, they're loyal, they're creative, they're demonstrative, they're affectionate, they're ardent, they're organized, they're generous, and they're narcissistic. They're all about themselves. Why somebody be like, oh, hell yeah. They sure are. Okay. The Leo man, because obviously y'all know the man is not the same as the woman. So yeah. The Leo man. He's a man who likes to be appreciated, whether he is a big wheel in a major business or a tiny cog in a gigantic enterprise. He will still want to be noticed for his achievements. Okay. The fact is that the average Leo man has a lot to offer. He has the creativity that is such an essential ingredient of his sign, mixed with a healthy dash of snowmanship. You have only to look at the list of the men born under this sign to see that it is their nature to stand out from the crowd. Like the cream in the milk, they can't help rising to the top. Not every Leo has the single mindedness and motivation to become an American president like Bill Clinton or a military hero like Simon Bolivar. Well, however you say that shit. But he will still do his best to become a success at whatever he sets his sights on. By the way, Barack Obama was also a Leo. Okay. All right, let's go back to the reading. So, all right, and woe beside it. What the hell? So I gotta read the one before that because it sounds like it's like a run-on sentence. But he will still do his best to become a success at whatever he sets his sights on, period, obviously. And woe betide you if you don't realize this and tell him how proud of him you are. So they're about themselves, okay? They got a little ego, you gotta rub it, you know what I'm saying? All right. If you forget to do this and you are his friend, he will disappear from your life. That is crazy. That is wild. Okay. If you are his partner, you may become single again. He will kick your ass to the curb, y'all. That is crazy. When this man who was loyal and faithful to you for so long finds someone who is better, able to admire him, he will leave you. Hey, yo. Y'all. What? I'm like, what? Yo, that is bananas, yo. Mr. Leo is a superb organizer. He knows what he wants, and the combination of his charm and natural authority help him to find it and make it happen. He will ask nicely at first and politely make a few suggestions about what you should be doing, but he'll start to lose his patience if he doesn't get results quite quickly. At this stage, his bossiness will emerge. He'll take control and he will also give a good demonstration of a human equivalent of the lion's roar. So they good for leaders, the men. You're meant to be supervisors if you're doing all this. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And God forbid you have a life path one, you're fucked. Or born on the 10th or the 1st, that means you want to be real on that shit, boy. On that leadership. All right. So Leo is one of the most family-minded signs of the zodiac. If Leo has his own children, he will be protective towards them, will do his best to take care of them and provide for them, and will also teach them how to behave properly so that they don't show him up in public. Oh, don't embarrass him if you his kids. He ain't gonna be happy with that shit. He adores playing with his children when they're young and is soft-hearted, pushover when it comes to making a fuss of them. When they get older and start to become more independent with their own friends, a little jealousy will creep in. Like his ruling planet, the sun, which is the axis of our solar system, Mr. Leo wants to remain at a center of his family circle and doesn't like to feel he is being eclipsed away. If he can keep his possessiveness under control and continue to show his warmth and affection, he'll have nothing to worry about. Holding center stage is second nature to Leo, and it comes in many forms. Although many Leos have made a global career from their creative abilities, such as Jennifer Lopez, Mick Jagger, and Halle Berry, not every Leo is able to push such dizzy heights. What is essential for them is to find activities in which they can express their true selves and that will earn them the appreciation and the applauses that they crave. Even if they only come from family and their friends, they like to be praised. So they should probably be actors or like do a YouTube. I'm just saying, right? All right. So the women, we're going to the women. All right. Oh, Whitney Houston was a Leo. Amelia Earhart too. Earhart and Jacqueline Kennedy. That's interesting. And the Queen of England, the one that's deceased now. Okay. The Leo woman. If you're looking for somebody who is generous, affectionate, warm-hearted, humorous, and self-confident with a big personality that you can't help, but notice you won't go far with a Leo woman. Okay? Yeah, Leo bugged out. They like to have the ego stroked. That's crazy. The men. Terrible, right? I know. Yeesh. If you're looking for someone who's generous, affectionate, warm-hearted, humorous, and self-confident with a big personality that you can't help notice, you won't go far with a Leo woman. She is all those things and more. And she also knows how to make the best of herself through carefully chosen makeups, clothes, and of course, hair. After all, this is the sign of the lion with its luxuriant mane. Coco Chanel, typically leonine sense of style and quite glamour, made her one of the most famous names of in couture. So, which is itself a Leo domain because it is artistry, right? Exclusiveness and expanse, although not every Leo woman is in close horse. She still wants to look good though, and she will lap up the compliments that flow in her direction. You can expect plenty of compliments from her too, but she will feel hurt and perplexed if you do not reciprocate. Okay. Leos love drama. Crazy, right? Miss Leo introduce it into her life one way or another. Oh shit, toxic ones, huh? If she has a flair for acting, yikes, she may gravitate towards amateur dramatics or a professional career on the stage or screen. No one can play the grand dame like a Leo lady, whether she does it for a living or for real. Mae West, oh, that's my bitch, Mae West, with her platinum blonde hair and fur stoles was one example of how it's done. That's what's up. I love Mae West, y'all. Y'all know who that is? I don't know where y'all are at, but yeah. She's so much like, I'm literally so much like her because she was obviously before me, so I'm obviously more like her. But when I saw her, I was like, damn, this is me. Like, I love to have jewels on. I love fur coats. I love to look beautiful. God damn. What other person could you look up to? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's perfect, you know? And I loved her movies. Like, they was old as F, but her sayings were funny as fuck, too. Is that a gun or are you happy to see me? She's talking about a man dick, by the way. All right. Love and Leos go together, so it's hardly surprising that Miss Leo is very romantic. She adores being swept off her feet by a new love. And even though she's extremely down to earth in many ways, she shows that endearing fire sign tendency of putting the latest beloved on a sky-high pedestal. She will be heartbroken if they topple off. But that won't stop her hoping that next time's love will triumph. Oh, man. And if that doesn't happen, then her fingers are crossed that she'll get it right the next time. So they keep trying. Miss Leo makes a good mother, lavishing tender love and care for her children when they are young and encouraging them to find their own creative sparks so that they can grow into independence, fulfilled adults. So they want to put out into the world proper people, not just any damn person, right? Madonna, who combines motherhood with being one of the biggest stars on the planet, is another person, another celebrity. Interesting. What she must avoid is living vicariously through her children and making them do things that she always wanted to try, but she never did. She must remember that they are people in their own rights, not extensions of her. When her children do well, she will almost burst with pride. If they hit a few glitches, she'll give them some constructive criticism, plenty of advice, and a big hug. No wonder her children love her. So they're supportive mommies. Okay. And then here comes the treacherousness of your life. Leo. Damn. All right. Leos are natural leaders. Told y'all, leaders. All right. And as an alert, They're sometimes aggressive. As the lion by which they are symbolized. They have considerable confidence in their own abilities and are unhappy working under authority. They are affectionate and possess enormous reserves of energy, which gives them exceptional drive and interpret expression. Leos can also be of two extremely different natures, creative or destructive. A lot of them are emotional, reactive, desire motivated people with a reputation for instability and volatility. Volatility. I can't even talk. The more enlightened Leos are as yet in the minority, though growing aware among new age people is swinging the pendulum. When they discover the secrets of self-control, Leo people are able to exercise their extremely powerful will for the common good and to express themselves creatively, and enlightened examples of divine power of human action. They have a natural deep sympathy for the less fortunate or those in trouble, not unexpected from people with such acute sensitivity. Okay, their negative issues. Here they are. Their negative tendencies. Care must always be exercised in the handling of powerful sources of energy, particularly fury human beings. With their exceptional drive, Leos are inclined to overtax their heart and nerves unless they learn to practice meditations or at least to incorporate periods of relaxation into their daily routine. So y'all got to motherfucking meditate your energies, okay? So you're not off balance. They must expressly avoid arguments and disruptive emotional involvements such as sordid love affairs and similar philandering, for these will heavily tax their emotions, considerably depleting their nervous energy. While they avidly enjoyed emotional expression, Leo people must exercise moderation to ensure they do not lose control of their feelings. They are inclined to anger easily, but this will only further deplete their nervous energies. Anger places enormous strains on your muscles of your heart, far more than people realize. Care must be taken that their natural sympathy is not imposed upon by thoughtlessness. People, if their sympathy is exploited, it can't be such sensitive. Wait, what the fuck? That made no sense. These people don't know how to write or something? Hold up. The fuck? Care must be taken that their natural sympathy is not imposed upon by their thoughtless for people. For if their sympathy is exploited, it can cause such sensitive people to feel very let down and even bitter. I mean, but that's on y'all need to control, because like you can't control nobody. I'm just saying. Your health, okay? Your heart. The heart motor nerves, okay, which regulate the movements in your heart and the blood are intimately related and are the most vulnerable components of a Leo person. Thus, they must ensure that their diet is regulated to avoid too many acid-forming foods or substances such as tea, coffee, excessive protein-rich foods, chocolate, sweets, alcohol, white flour products. Damn, y'all can't eat shit. What the fuck? And so on. In view of their emotional tendencies, which strain the nerves of their heart, it is not surprising that the Leos often suffer from deficiency of the mineral salt magnesium phosphate. This is the important nutrient involved in regulating your nerve and your muscle impulses. I drink that shit. This is a tendency for anybody suffering from a lack of magnesium phosphate to experience spells of crying. Okay, so you become emotional. Well, anybody that doesn't have that becomes emotional, but you need this in your diet though. Okay. Spells of crying, laughter, coughing, sneezing, hiccups, or cramps, or to become quite reckless in manner. These symptoms are highly enervating, but will be greatly relieved by the therapeutic application of a few grams of magfos in a glass of hot water. Many suffers from angina pectoris and mild heart spasms can overcome these acute disorders by attaining better control of their emotions and by including in their diet rich foods known to be natural sources of magnesium phosphate, particularly the following. These foods are rich in this, obviously, right? So wheat germ and bran, raw unsalted nuts and seeds, yeast, brewers and torula, soya beans, soya milk, and soya grits. Oh, I don't like soya beans. That shit is nasty. Whole wheat and rye as cereals or in whole grain bread. That's good. Rolled oats, millet and buckwheat, brown lentils, especially nourishing when sprouted, okay, and eaten raw. Blackstrap molasses. Yo, molasses is so fucking good for your hair, yo. Your karmic lessons in life. Every person born under the sign of Leo is aware of their strong inner drive. Those who have not learned to channel this tremendous energy are often impatient and difficult to live with due to their frequent emotional eruptions. Okay. Life is the tamer of the lion, taking the wild animal nature and gently transforming it until it becomes a moderated, harnessed force, willing and able to be directed by the supreme intelligence. Then will the lion allow divine order to be established in all its affairs. Deep within, they are warm and compassionate people, but many Leos are not ready to exhibit this beautiful side of their nature until they reach their third phase of life. Oh, hell no. So y'all are like the scorpions. Do you know that the Scorpio has 3 phases? Scorpion, which is the unevolved, right? Like the immature ones and shit like that. So scorpions. Then you have the ego phase, and then the last stage when you're evolved is the phoenix stage, right? So apparently y'all got the reading shit. Life will be much more rewarding for them and for those who they associate with when they learn to be more compassionate in their early years. This is Leo's major life lesson. When you master that, you would have obviously evolved, which means you will have passed your karmic lesson, Leo. All right, you guys. So I'm going to close out this live. Thank you, everybody that has sat here and watched me. If y'all just obviously walked in, you know what I'm saying? I told you I'm going to do a whole separate one and where it's going to be relating to the signs of the children. That way I talk about like the little kids and stuff like that, in case if you got certain kids you're trying to learn more about their sign and how to make them better as adults. I'm going to do a different one when we're done with obviously this one, because we're just doing the men and the women. You guys don't forget to hit that like button, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye. Oh, I'm sorry. You can rewind it. Ciao, you guys.